Hello, everyone. On behalf of Urban Living Solutions Cambodia, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone, whichever part of the world you are connecting from today. Thank you for accepting our invitation to attend this exclusive webinar entitled Investing in the Future of Real Estate in Phnom Penh. Before we officially begin, just a few reminders on the webinar that we are running today. Please know that to accommodate privacy throughout the duration of this webinar, that all 200 plus of our participants have been privately withheld, their names, and are not displayed or visible to other participants. Also, if you have any questions, you may ask any question via the Q&A tab on your Zoho app's top left-hand side. And questions will be sent and received in private and can be discussed during the Q&A anonymously. You may wait until the conclusion of the presentation to send in your questions, or you may type in your questions at any time. We will do our best to accommodate all questions as much as possible during the Q&A session. But in the event that your question is not answered or was not read out, our representatives will reach out to you after the webinar to answer your questions accordingly. Our webinar today will comprise of 4 main sections. Our speakers will introduce Urban Living Solutions and the idea behind being a community-centric property developer, and talk about why Cambodia is a great investment opportunity for everyone. We will also talk about some of our highlighted projects, Rose Apple Square and Udang, and why they are lucrative investment opportunities for the modern day investor. Our speakers today are Corbett Hicks, Partner, Creative and Community Director at Urban Living Solutions Cambodia, Chloe Shomien, Regional Sales Leader at Urban Living Solutions, and T. Chip, International Head of Sales at Urban Living Solutions. And without further ado, let us formally begin our webinar. Please allow me to introduce Corbett Hicks, Partner and Creative and Community Director at Urban Living Solutions. Corbett?
Thank you, Seth. We can move on to the next slide. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I just want to start here. So first off, unfortunately, I can't see everybody who's there. Cameras are off, but thank you for everybody who's decided to join us here today. Really appreciate that. I'm excited to actually see where all the registrations came from. I haven't had a chance to see that, but I expect that we have multiple countries who have joined us today. So my name is Corbett Hicks. I am a partner with Urban Living Solutions. I've been with the company since 2017, and I've helped lead a few of the projects here. My main role is less so in the day-to-day like development of projects, but I'm one of the people who come up with the ideas. I work very closely with Leon Keynes, who's the partner in the company, or the principal founder, in developing ideas from, when they sort of come up, start off as like rough ideas, into the detailed plans that we need in order to launch and execute a project. In addition, I am in charge of our marketing communications team, which I'm quite proud of, and I think the work that we have is pretty good. So ULS is a mission-driven company. I worked with Leanne on actually creating this mission statement, and I'm just going to read that as it is. We build community-focused housing, commercial, and lifestyle solutions for the Cambodian emerging middle class. That's what we're trying to do, right? We do work in investment products, and that's what we're here to talk about today. But our core mission is that we want to be building stuff that Cambodians and those coming into Cambodia can buy and actually are excited to live in or to participate in those spaces. The vision for the company is to be a national, regional, recognized company for creating real estate solutions, not only for our innovation and quality, but also for communities they help create. The community aspect of what we do is just core to who the company is. You'll see today, we're going to talk largely about our real estate ventures, but we are starting to get into lifestyle development projects as well. And everything we do is with this idea of community focus in between, whether that's building a real estate project that, asks the question, how can we build this in a way that it's actually going to bring people together? How is it going to allow residents from one floor or next door to meet one another? So it's not just about building buildings and creating a product. It's about how we can take what we call the software to bring people together. In addition to our mission, we are very much a values-driven company. These are central to who we are, and something that we try to execute in all the work that we do. Community, which I've already sort of discussed, right, is central to what we do and how I think we set ourselves apart from really any other developer in the country. As you guys know, Cambodia's economic growth has been really amazing the last 15, 20 years. People are building things everywhere and stuff like that, but not always putting the thought and care into, what is a better way to do this? What's going to actually help bring people together, create strong communities? And that's central to what we do. Accessibility. Our goal here is to create accessibly priced solutions for the emerging middle class. Now, this is something that we aspire towards. It's not the only thing that we do, but we want our products to be available long-term for the Cambodians who are going to be living in those, as well as investors. Transparency. We always say, when in doubt, the truth. And what that means is we want to be honest with both our clients and our suppliers, our contractors, everybody. We definitely want to celebrate our successes, but we make mistakes sometimes too. And the couple times that it's happened, I'm very proud that we were public about those and acknowledge 1, 2, 3. This is what happened. This is what we did. And this is how we're rectifying it. So that's a pledge from the company that we'll be transparent about all of our operations. Just quickly to go over the history of the company a little bit. We were founded in 2016. I myself joined in 2017. It's probably hard to make out on that slide, but I am the small character in the check shirt in the bottom left of 2017. And we've grown since. As of today, we are at 50 staff. And during that time, Urban Loft was our very first project. That was a condo development in the northern part of Phnom Penh. Factory Phnom Penh and Urban Village, which are located just south of the central Phnom Penh. Factory Phnom Penh was a project I personally led, and that sort of was my gateway into the company. Back Home Village, a project that we're super proud of. That's in Siem Reap, about 7 kilometers north of the city. That I think in a lot of ways best represents what we're trying to do with this community-focused and also accessible housing. The VA there stands for Urban Village, which is our condo project that completed in 2019 in Phnom Penh, and it's just adjacent to Factory Phnom Penh. Rose Apple Square, which you guys will hear more about later on with T and Chloe, so I won't go too much into depth on that, but a really awesome mixed-use project that's just really doing well, and there's only a few units left of that one that is in Siem Reap. And then finally, Odam, which is sort of, I think, the main thing that we'll be discussing today, which is our 2 towers, 1 residential, 1 office space, connected by a really beautiful podium along the bottom right in the middle of Phnom Penh, the capital. A little bit about us. I'm a big believer that we should put faces on the company. I think that helps build trust with our clients and investors and buyers. And so at the high level, I won't go into all 50 staff, but at the high level, these are the ones who are managing our sort of core departments. So on the left, there is Daniel Chavez. He is our design, engineering, and construction director. So even though we don't do construction in-house, we're obviously managing a lot of many different contractors. Daniel's an architect and engineer background. He leads that team on oversight of all of our construction. San Sorn, on the second from the left, is our finance and administration director, and he oversees, I think, a staff of about 20 people now amongst all of our projects, monitoring everything from HR to our finance and accounting standards, which we're proud to have been an audited firm and really trying to work up to international standards on everything. Myself, which I won't talk about too much because I already have. And then finally, on the right is Liang Keen. And Liang is the managing director. He's the founder of the company. And he was the one who really sort of, came up with this overall mission and vision of what the company should be, and is critical in really everything that we're doing, obviously. And I think is currently working on this next big idea, which we'll hopefully be able to make an announcement on in the next 3 months. A little bit about a team. I'm going to focus just mainly on the right side of this slide. You guys can look at the one on the left maybe a bit later. I mentioned we have 50 staff. We're 84% Cambodian and 16% international. I won't go into all the languages we speak, some better than others, some just enough to get ourselves in trouble. But I'm really proud of the international aspect of the company. So we have people from over 6 countries. The majority are all based in Cambodia. There's a few like myself who go back and forth between Cambodia and another country. I'm in Japan currently. That includes Thailand and France as well, people coming back. But I think the diversity of our staff is not only in the countries and the nationalities that they come from, but also our technical backgrounds. We're not people who only have studied, real estate development or business or engineering, construction, architecture. We bring a really broad skill set in, and when we're coming up with ideas for projects or we're trying to fine tune them, we really invite those opinions in. And between the international experiences that people have and also their sort of education backgrounds, we're able to bring, I think, a lot of original ideas to the project, not only in the hardware or the design and the construction of the buildings, but also in what we call the software, which is, again, how we're bringing people together. What kind of business is going to fit in well here? It's going to complement that project. What do we need in order to get people out of the towers into certain spaces? Thinking that way. And I think that diversity of experiences and backgrounds, the fact that our staff are not only from other countries, but often traveling, we always try to tell them, like, when you go out, look hard, steal all the good ideas you guys have, and we'll see if we can adapt those back in our work. I'm going to move a little bit quickly just so I can stay on time. Our buyers, the majority are coming from Cambodia amongst all of our projects. Inside Cambodia, for those who have not visited, there's actually quite a rich international presence, which is a bit surprising for a country of 20 million. But both in Siem Reap and Phnom Penh, when you go to a nice restaurant and stuff, you're going to probably see, people from 5 to 10 different countries on any given night, and that's representing our buyership as well. So what we see here are a sampling of where our buyers have come from, and some of those again are international people who are based in the country, but also people who are based outside the country investing inside Cambodia itself. We've recently entered into some other lifestyle ventures. So Artisans Encore is a really amazing company that focuses on artisanal craft production. We purchased them in 2022, excuse me, and currently employ over 400 staff. You can go to the next slide. They work in silverware, stone carving, wood carving. If you're coming into the country anytime soon, you're going to be passing through either the Siem Reap airport or, depending on when you come, the new Phnom Penh airport, which is opening up later this year. If you happen to, either one will, the current Phnom Penh airport and the new airport will both have an Artisans Encore location. So you may not see that on arrival, but departure you will. And if you go to Siem Reap, that's where our flagship store is. We have workshops there, both in the center of the city as well out the perimeter for the silk farm, which are really amazing, and we're really proud of having this venture. The next one is Sutaya Bookstore. Some of you, depending on where you're coming from, may know this. Sutaya is a Japan-based bookstore. It's sort of like lifestyle retail shop. And in 2 weeks, we're actually opening the first location, and that's at Ian Mall, also a Japanese department store in Phnom Penh. It's the first of several planned locations, one of which will be at Odam, which we'll talk about later. And myself, I've been in and out of Japan for 25 years, so this store is actually quite dear to me. It's one that I frequented even when I was living here 20 years ago doing very different work. And it's we're really excited about this. That's all I'm going to say on that. Recently at Rose Apple Square, which we'll talk about a little bit later, we were really excited to get an agreement with the Thai consulate. So they are opening up a consular office. That's actually scheduled to open up in May, and obviously that's not someplace you can just drop by, but we were really proud because what that speaks to is the confidence that international government authority has in our project, which they have many security and other concerns in those when they're coming in. So we felt very proud to be able to welcome them into Rose Apple Square. And then finally, a couple other items. This is an image from Kai Fun. These are not directly related to ULS, but they're what we call in the ULS family. And these are two projects both owned by Liang and his wife, but we work with them strategically in some. So this image, in fact, is a Kai Fun, and we have one located in Rosenapple Square. They also have multiple locations in Phnom Penh. And then Genki Sushi, which is an international sushi chain that's based from Japan. Liang brought them into the country. Liang Pat brought them into the country, I believe, 5 years ago. And I think it's 4 or 5 locations that we have currently. And these are things that we leverage with our projects because we have access to these businesses. We're starting up a new commercial enterprise. We can invite them in to be sort of a key or a core tenant going forward. And I am going to pause, and I do welcome questions later on, but I'm going to hand it over to T for the next section.
Actually, I'll take over for the next.
Oh, excuse me.
No worries. So we'll talk a bit more about Cambodia, the perception that people have of it and its economic reality, because sometimes there is quite a gap between the image we hold and the immense speed at which Asian economies are developing. So we'll start first with a small slideshow of some images. Yeah, it's okay. Of some images of Cambodia. Okay. So since joining ASEAN in 1999, Cambodia have reaped numerous of economic benefits. The integration granted the country access to a broader regional market and boost the trade and attract foreign investments. ASEAN cooperative also contributed to Cambodia's economic stability and sustainable growth. Now we will focus a bit on that growth. So between 2000 and 2007, Cambodia experienced an exceptional economic growth, far surpassing ASEAN countries and the world. Then the impact of the global economic crisis of 2008 led to a significant drop, but the country managed to remain with a positive growth, unlike many other nations. After 2010, Cambodia's growth stabilized, remaining strong and above ASEAN and global average. So let's see now the latest news. Pent-up consumer demand boosted the service sector, and Cambodia post-pandemic economy recovery is well on the way. It solidified in 2022 with real growth accelerating to 5.2%. So initially, our growth tend to be led by strong performance of export-oriented manufacturing industry. But the economy recovery is increasingly supported by the strong rebound of the service sector, especially trade, travel, and hospitality industry. The domestic consumption is also fueling a more sustainable growth. Now we will look at the FDI. So Cambodia ranks first among countries with the strongest momentum for foreign direct investment in 2024, with GDP growth at 6.10 and inflation at 3, which are very notable economic performance. Cambodia is very attractive for foreign investor. Total FDI inflow between September 2023 and 2024 was 8.1 billion. And early 2025, in the 2 first months, we see already 1.06 billion. No, I think we all know that there is emerging challenges. As of April, the US imposed 49% tariff on Cambodia export, which potentially will affect some key sector for us that are garment and footwear. But it's way too early for the moment to draw a conclusion. The aftermath are not there yet. We are still in the diplomatic response. And the global economic outlook is still very positive. Even despite those challenges, the Asian Development Bank still maintain a positive outlook, projecting the Cambodia GDP growth at 6% for 2025. So we'll see what's next. No, the population. This is a very important thing for Cambodia. 55% of our population is under 30 years old. It means that we have a large, energetic, and growing workforce. Young people also drive consumer trend, tech adoption, and urbanization. This is creating new real estate needs, both in residential and commercial. So we have a really young and powerful population, and we are only beginning the large-scale urbanization. It's a very interesting time for developer here. Plus, Cambodia population is still growing. It's still growing, unlike aging country like Europe, but also most of our neighbors actually have an aging population. A growing population is key because it's mean an expanding domestic market and a long-term consumption potential. We are in what it's called a demographic dividend, which means that the working age population is way larger than the dependent. So we've seen in Europe that it was a key moment of. I will hand over to T to wrap up the economical section.
I guess this page really summarized what Chloe has highlighted in terms of Cambodia being a very dynamic and growth-driven economy. Our GDP at 6%, is that at least according to the 2023 data, is twice that of the world average, and we rank consistently in the top 5 regionally and in the top 20 internationally. But the other attraction which underpins this growth, of course, we have a very favorable investment and taxation system, some of which includes taxation holidays, support from the government in key area sectors such as manufacturing and also agriculture, which are 2 key areas that we believe will grow exponentially. Also, from our own experience is that the dual currency system, a lot of our buyers are attracted to the US dollar. We do foresee that the US currency will be the reserve currency for at least for the foreseeable future. It is a very a currency which has good value retention, but also it's a hedge against inflation, and also for them to protect themselves against currency fluctuation as well. Our ROI is also very good. Like Chloe mentioned, we have a readily available, dynamic and energetic workforce, unlike some of our neighbours, which has an aging population, which the government need to subsidise and also support. In terms of infrastructure, which I will cover shortly, but you will notice that for the 2019 data, tourism just pre-COVID was close to 7 million. However, we have a very ambitious goal underpinned by all the infrastructure project to reach approximately 25 million in 2035. But another key attraction is the 100% ownership of properties. It means that you can own it outright. Your rights and obligations that is equivalent to local people as well. But what allow us to start and complete infrastructure project in a very short period of time is also because of our very stable political system. So all of these underpins the growth of Cambodia, and there are many sectors that has much more to grow as well. Speaking of infrastructure, which there was a PricewaterhouseCoopers report not so long ago that says if you want to see how the country is growing, you look at their infrastructure spending. Certainly, we are very much invested in that in terms of ports, highways, byways, airports, seaports, and more recently, we're moving from low value production or manufacturing to higher value sectors such as the recent addition of the manufacturing assembly plant, which includes Ford, Toyota, And towards end of this year, if not early next year, BYD is also setting up the assembly plant in Cambodia. So this is a very good sign in terms of where we are heading as a country. Next. Chloe, back to you now. Yeah.
So we'll take just a few minutes to talk about the latest realization of ULS, which is Rosable Square. So the program developed by ULS, they make sense in terms of offering within the urban development in which they are admitted. Because investing in something that makes sense in the economic, which make economical sense in where is it situated is the best way to secure an investment. It's have to match the demand. So Siem Reap is the second largest city in Cambodia. It's also the most touristic one, thanks to the archaeological park of Angkor temples. It is also a city that have a special, which is very special in the art of Cambodia, because this is the former empire place, and the government tend to preserve the historical city center with the 2021-2035 master plan. So the challenge of Siem Reap is that this city was never meant to develop vertically. Early on, there were restrictions in heights, especially in the historical art of the city where Rosable Square is situated, where the Royal Palace is situated. So for those who are familiar with urban development, the risk of height restriction is often known as the low density sprawl, or I think in America, it's more called like the codependent suburbia. So this, we are lucky enough to develop a bit later than others, and we try to prevent some issue, because this kind of development are usually a financial headache for municipality, and it's have dramatic consequences in terms of greenhouse gas emission, and it segregate communities. So instead of having city spreading and then an hypercentral core, highly polluted, highly congested, and with a lot of people spending most of the time in traffic, ULS choose to develop a low-rising mixed-use development, which is a residential development with business, offices, and outlet. Basically, in Rosable Square, you can live, you can consume, you can work. So this is some example of the setup of Rosable Square. So it's a residential development. Some of the units of the residential are managed by Velia. I will come back to that. There is offices. Commune is co-living area. And Siem Reap House is a 950 square meter co-working place. There is also a different kind of business. So we will see later in the presentation some picture of the Siem Reap House and everything. So in order to make the building as sustainable and pleasant to live in as possible, studies have been done about the airflow circulation and the orientation. This allows natural cooling and have a very positive impact on the building's sustainability and energetic cost. Rosable Square gives a large part to common area. This is something that you will find in every ULS development, because if you want to build a community, people need to have large and convenient and well-organized common space where they can meet and where they can interact. This actually represents a cost because it's literally square meter untold, but it gives an advantage, a tremendous advantage to your building, because there is so many buildings where you don't know your neighbor, where you are, as a tenant, you are not happy, and as an owner, you have a lot of turnover. The occupancy rates are high in all ULS building, thanks to those common area and those common facilities. So you can see the pool, the gym, the playground. There is a picture, Kaifan was one of the outlets, and later on you will see some picture of the park. So this is Siem Reap House, so the co-working space. Then we have the auditorium, which is the first auditorium of Siem Reap. Then the commune, which is the co-living area. And the Rosable Square Park, which is in front of Rosable Square. So you see mixed of the park and the common area of Rosable Square. You can see it's very green. So Rosable Square is the first mixed-use development of Siem Reap As an investor, it's always interesting to be ahead of the market. And as the world economy is largely connected, it's also very interesting as a market segment because residential and office are much more resilient. So it's a safe place to invest. And Rosa Pasquale is a good example of market-driven fixed return. So only a few part of the units were allocated to an investment option offering 7% fixed return and a buyback option. It's a proven concept. It's a mix between long stay, most of the time on big unit, providing a stable income throughout the year, and short and stay that spice up the income. So this was the first example that ULS did for rental income, like passive income building with fixed return. And you will see also that in Udom presented by T.
Sure. Just before I move over to Udom, I just want to highlight in respect to Rose Upper Square project. The reason we cover Rose Upper Square a little bit is that this has been our last project that we completed, and it's been very successful. Of the 207 units that were available for sale, I think there remains about 198 or 199. But why we want to share that with you is because with a lot of our development, we retain a large portion of ownership and we only sell a small amount. So of the total built-up area of Rose Upper Square, we still own 70% of those. Only 30% of those are sold. But more importantly, we retain the office space, retail space to ensure that we have multiple income stream to make sure that we can service the fixed income investment that we provide for Rose Upper Square, which I will cover a little bit further towards the end of Udom. Now, moving to Udom, the feature project for this webinar. And before I talk a little bit about the project, I just want to talk a little bit about my situation in terms of moving to Cambodia. Maybe some of you can detect my accent. I lived in Australia for 40 years, but 4 years ago, I moved back, and through sheer luck or good timing, to be honest, I have not had to make too much compromise or adjust too much in terms of lifestyle, opportunities, work-life balance. It's been great. And recently I've been blessed to have a daughter, and I see myself raising my child here forever. So I just want to share that with you because, the numbers are good, but I think it's also good to understand what life is like to live as well. So, and yourself, you have
Kids.
Two
That
kids.
I'm also very happy to raise here.
Sure. All right, enough of that, enough of the personal story. Allow me to move to Udom. I think this is a great page to start because you'll see 6 logos up there. These are our USP. Our USP, unique selling points or unique selling proposition. What I believe sets us apart as a development, as a developer, but it's also forms a large part of what underpins our confidence to offer the fixed investors program, which I shall cover a little bit later. Now, to the left, you see the Singaporean flag. It's not a Singaporean project. It's basically our standard, especially the office Singaporean A grade standard. We just want to highlight that we benchmark the Singaporean A grade in terms of our office level, as well as our build for the whole project as well. Now, no matter where you invest around the world, Australia, New York, England, it doesn't matter. I think we all agree that location is a huge factor. It ranks number 1, number 2, number 3 in terms of where to invest. Norodom Boulevard is second to none. If I can quickly explain the significance of the location to our people and to the city. If you've been to Singapore, it's our Orchard Road. If you've been to Thailand, it's our Sukhumvit. Sometime I have my American friends come visit me and I tell them, you know what, this is our Billionaire Boulevard, is our 57th Street in Manhattan. And this is not a crazy comparison. is right now, but moving forward, it shared very similar characteristic. The reason we call it the Billionaire Boulevard is that, a number of the very wealthy Cambodians either live on the street or owns property on the street. Furthermore, Manhattan have Hudson River. We have the Mekong River to the east of Odom as well. And I think maybe towards next year or the year after, the Ritz-Carlton will also open up on Norodom Boulevard. But Norodom Boulevard has historical and also cultural significance, being named after our king, the royal family, which dates back to 1890. So I think you can understand the importance and the prestige of the street based on the information I have shared thus far. Yeah. So Odom as a building, we can describe it as a mixed-use vertical community, not unlike Rose Apple Square, but Rose Apple Square is sort of low-rise or mid-rise. This stands for the commercial building, which is the grey building. To my left on the screen stands 220 meters tall, which is the Odom Tower. And the smaller building, which is with the orange logo, the Odom Living, which is 120 meters tall with 30 floors. So that's the residential component. So the easiest way to remember Odom as a building is that it's two parts, two buildings, which is the Odom Living and Odom Tower, three sections, which is Odom Living, Odom Tower, and the square. But it has 6 functions or 6 amenities. First, I described already the residential part. Secondly, which takes up 3/4 space of the tower building is our single point A-grade strata title office space, which we have allocated 5 floor towards our fixed income investors program, which I shall cover a bit later. And sitting atop the strata title office, we have the inclusion of the IHG hotel and also the IHG private members club, which I shall share and elaborate a little bit more. So we believe that moving forward, because of the amenities, the quality, the inclusion of a vast amount of green space, we truly believe that Odom or Norodom will be a future landmark. I often remind people that Odom, which is a very iconic design, and Norodom, which is a very landmark location, I say that Odom, Norodom is a match made in real estate heaven, simply because of the amenities, the location, the features, the level of quality that we strive to provide for the end users. But to me, at least personally, I'm more passionate about this part, the story side of things. So let me start with the name Odom. Odom is a Khmer word or Cambodian word. There is no direct translation, but some of the key word which captures the meaning, excellent, plentiful, magnificent, which we feel that we will deliver on this project once we complete it. But it's also our Cambodian story. The design itself, in terms of the facade of the commercial tower, pays homage or is inspired by the Angkor stones, the way it is stacked. So the four parts represent the 4 stones. Now, why this is important to us is that, as I mentioned, the Odom, we believe it will be a landmark, but we want to remind our own people that once upon a time, our Khmer Empire, 1,000 years ago, we had some of the best builders, some of the best architects, some of the best engineers, as you know, Angkor Wat or is testament to it to this very day. So this is the short version of the story. Because of time, I'm not able to share with you the rest of the story, but this is more than just a building to us. It's a statement. It's a story of our people. So this is a very important building. It's more than just a building. So some of the unique features, which is also our USP, the IHG Private Members Club. If you are in say Hong Kong. I'm not sure if there's anyone from Hong Kong there. There's a Rosewood in Hong Kong. They have a private members club called Carlisle & Co. In Singapore, there's 1880, also operated by IHG. So a private members club really has a jazz bar, whiskey bar, lounge, fine dining, anything and everything to please the movers and shakers in Phnom Penh, but also to provide a luxurious experience for international travelers who have been used to this level of service and also facility as well. So this is something we believe that is the first of its kind in Phnom Penh and in Cambodia, but it also we are catering for the local market who are forever increasing their spending power as well. Below that, we have the Vignette IHG Hotel. We chose Vignette and they chose us simply because of the prioritizing culture. So a vignette in Phnom Penh, a vignette in Mexico, a vignette in Spain, a vignette in Washington, a vignette in Thailand offer very different experience. Even if they're 5-star or 3-star, what they prioritize most is the local people, the local food, and the local experience. And once again, there's synergy between the vignette story and also the Odom story. The LEED certification, our whole building is a green certified building under the United States Building Council. We are pursuing LEED Gold. What it's simply being, pre-construction, during construction, post-construction, the method that we choose, the materials that we use, we aim to cause the least amount of harm to the environment and have minimum carbon output. So essentially, it's a green building. It aims to be as environmentally friendly as possible. Further, which is not on the screen, is we are ESG driven. Given the fact that we are LEED Gold certified, the E part, which is the environmental part, has been taken care of, but the social aspect comes down to the operational side. Once the building is completed, we will work with our stakeholders, the building managers, the landlord, to ensure that we have a policy that makes sure that we treat the end users well and that they enjoy coming into our building. Once again, community is at the heart of everything we do. Our retail podium is not just a retail podium, but it's a community space with vast amount of green space that the community can come and enjoy. Because for us, it's all about giving back and providing space where we can nurture community and connect people as well. Going back to the Odom living, which is our residential part. Now, once again, I'm using the 57th Street comparison. Along the Billionaire Boulevard, they have tall buildings, but very low condominium count. Normally, a project sitting around about 5,000 square meters in Phnom Penh, they will have between 500 to 1,000 condominium. But for us, we have 138 condominium. So very low density, but high building, not unlike what you'll see in famous street in big city of the world where it's located on a prestigious street. As mentioned, it's 30-story high. 22 of those stories are the residents. What are the key features are on each floor plate? There are only 5 to 7 condominium split into 2, which means that in some situation, in some floor, depending on which unit you buy, you may have 1 neighbor, at the most 3 neighbors. There are 8 layouts. Starting from the 2 1-bedroom, 78 square meters, 80 square meters. These are in net measurement and they all have 2 balcony and a 3-meter floor to 7 times as well. All the fixtures and fittings are included, not including immovable furniture. If you would like, and you can contact us later, we can send you some video of some of these units so you have a much better idea. The 2 bedrooms ranges from 110 to approximately close to 140 square meters. In square feet, I'm just going to take a rough conversion, just over 1,600 square foot for our 2-bedroom, which has two bedroom, 2 balcony, and 2 bathroom. There are 4 variation: A, B, C, D. Open plan, separate dining, a bigger balcony. So something for everybody, slightly different. The 3-bedroom, which is closest 200 square meters, which is in actual fact, it's 3+1, which includes a I was told to call it a multi-purpose room, but in Cambodia we call it a maze room because we have living maids, and normally we provide a separate living quarters for them to stay with us as well. And the largest, they call it the pista resistance, which is our showcase unit, which is the 4-bedroom, which is 4+1, almost over 3,000 square feet or 3.5, which takes 180-degree views of the Mekong River, and it's it's an uninterrupted view, and it's been one of our best sellers. So this tells us that this is what the market wants, and this we're building for the market as well. To top it off, speaking of which, is the full rooftop garden, just a quiet place for our residents to walk their dogs, their cat, to take a leisurely stroll in the evening. This is something that is very rare and very much desired for in the city of Phnom Penh. So there you'll see a layout. As I mentioned, in each floor plate there are 5 to 7. In this situation, there are 7 units. The 4-bedroom being the premium unit faces east, which has a 180-degree view to the Mekong, which is 1.5 kilometer, not too different to some apartments overlooking the Hudson River. Now we have the tower, which is housed our commercial office space, our Singaporean A-grade office space. It stands 45 stories tall, 220 meters high, and it's incorporate 6 sky villages, which houses green space, open space, cafes, restaurants, and it's strategically placed so that no matter where it is that you purchase the office or whether you occupy, it takes approximately 3 to 5 minutes to get to your nearest sky villages. Our office space ranges anywhere between 62 square meters up to 260 square meters, or in some cases, based on some purchase, some of our purchasers have purchased a whole floor with a gross floor plate of 2,000 and a net measurement of 1,500 square meters as well. So certainly, with the combined 2 building and all the amenity in it, we want to make sure we have a complete ecosystem to serve the resident, but also to serve the workers, that they do not need to leave the building to do whatever they need to do, to meet the client, to meet their friends, to take a break at lunch. So anything and everything they need is all in the one spot. Next. Here's a sample floor plate. I recommend to a lot of our buyers, if you can get it early, please get into the Sky Village area, which has less office but more open space. I think you all know in any international company, in any international city, buildings, areas where there are open space, green space, cafe, lots of fresh air are the most highly desired. So we still have a couple of units within the designated floors that we provide for the fixed income investment are still available. But these are a sample floor plate. Before we move over, one thing I want to highlight in factoring the fact that we call our office space A-grade, Singaporean A-grade office space, is that we have 22 lifts servicing the 2 buildings. 18 lifts service the office building, which is also AI assisted. The lift dispatcher has an AI incorporated into it. What it essentially does is that it cuts down the waiting time, but also it cuts down the stopping time. So the customer, the boss, gets to where they need to get to a lot quicker with less stops and using less energy. So these are just one of many initiatives that we incorporate to ensure the experience is the best, but also to cut down on the energy usage, which is a requirement for our LEED Gold certification as well. Next. This is just the render of our podium, our retail podium, and the amount of green space that we have incorporated into the square Once again, not just a retail podium, but a community square. But it's also home on the 6th floor of the residence pool and also the gym. We have the pool in the office tower as well. So yeah, anything, shopping, living, working, socializing, anything and everything is there. I believe, and we believe, with the amount of facility that we provide, a community space that we provide, and also the lifestyle bookstore that we mentioned previously that will be that we will have in the Odom retail podium. All in all, once it's completed, we believe that it's more than just a building. It'll be a landmark, but more importantly, it'll be a destination. I would not be surprised 3-4 years from now, if you look at TripAdvisor, top 5, top 10 things to do in Phnom Penh, go and visit Odom because we have this, and this. So we're very excited. Before I jump into the explanation of the fixed income, the reason we chose the Rose Apple Square project is that also it's the last project that we completed and it's nearly sold out, but we also invite many of our customers who are looking to purchase our project to try before you buy. Although Rose Apple Square is very different, but it's proof of work in terms of how we take a concept into a final product, but more importantly, what happens after the building is completed on the operational side. So for us, we always encourage you, before you make a decision, come over, stay at our project, get a feel for it, and have a better understanding of why we do things, how we do things, and because this is something that we are very proud of, and this is something that sets us apart. Now, I suppose we're nearly out of time, so I'll quickly cover this. The fixed income, ROI. These fixed income program, I want to highlight that it's market driven. What that means is that at the end of the guarantee period or at the end of the program, we want to make sure that we hand over you the unit, but is able to continue to enjoy the return that we have provided for you, basically. So basically, it's a substitute of an income that you would otherwise have in a normal good market that is very well managed, based on the building and the facility that we provide at Odom. So to provide you some example, a lot of investors would ask, so what is the ROI, which is the yearly income we provide? To keep it very short, we provide 8% net minus all the fees involved is the amount that we transfer into your bank account. However, the second question for a lot of investors is, what is my extra strategy? Well, we not only provide one extra strategy, we provide multiple extra strategy. The first being, you come to visit the project Odom in the 3rd year and the 4th year. It is exactly as I described it. It's busy, lots of people, lots of tenants, and it's full of occupancy. The first thing is that, well, you know what? I like what I see. I'm going to keep it. So that's one option at the end of the program. The second option, if the scenario is the same, it's very busy, things are going really well, and actually you spoke to your agent, you say, look, the agent said to you, no, forget about the plus 10%, we can give you plus 30%. So you have the option of selling it to the open market as well. So the 110% or plus 10% premium, to me, I want you to understand it's merely a safety net that should you want to cash out, at the time you want to cash out, at least your capital reserve plus a little bit more. So this is, I think for a lot of people, once they dig down into the numbers and understand how we arrive at the our investors program, you know, without sounding crass or not using appropriate language, it's a no-brainer. Right? This is a no-brainer. You've got fixed income and you have multiple exit strategy, and we are only providing 4 floors or 5 floors that we apply these investors program. So we're short of time. I'll be happy, Chloe will be happy to answer more and to explain more regarding the fixed income and anything that you may want to ask.
We'll take a few questions, but please don't hesitate to reach out to the person who sent you the invite and ask all your questions or ask for a video call with one of us.
Sid, over to you.
Do you,
All right.
you have some questions?
Thank you very much to all of our speakers. The time is 1:57 ICT. We literally have 3 minutes left, but the floor is now open for any questions from anyone. To those who are new to this application, on the top left-hand side of your Zoho interface is a tab labeled Q&A. You may click on the tab and type in your question. We will be able to see the question, but other attendees may not. And for the sole purpose of preserving everyone's privacy, we will read the question aloud and give our speakers some time to answer, but we will purposely exclude the names and sources of these questions. We have received, as a matter of fact, a couple of questions, one of which is rephrased. It's, can foreigners acquire full property or full ownership of the properties?
So, it's okay. So yes, foreigner can be in full ownership if it's a co-owned building and within the ratio of 70%. So all the unit that we offer in the worry-free offer are also able to be owned by foreigner in full ownership.
Yep, you yourself is an owner.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
There's another question. Can I purchase property even if I'm overseas?
Yes. Okay. I think. Sorry.
Yep.
I think this one too, because most of my customers are overseas, and so you can go through the full purchase phase from overseas. You can also make the title transfer from overseas. The only thing is that if you want to open a bank account in Cambodia, you do not have to, but if you want to, you need to come physically, and then we accompany you. We can help you to open a bank account.
And can I quickly add to that?
Sure.
I would always encourage, where possible, please come over and do your due diligence and look around and take your time. In actual fact, for our buyers, we encourage them to come over, and then we put them up at our project, Rose Apple Square, complimentary, to make sure that they get to experience the finished product, because nothing beats being here and experiencing it first step. Sorry, being
No.
Okay, maybe one more question. There's a question about office or the tower.
Sure.
Worldwide office occupancy rates have been declining. What safeguards do you have in place for buyers against this worldwide trend?
Sure. I guess if you're looking at trend, if you're reading a lot of this article, that which seems to be the direction that the office occupancy is tended to drop. But within that trend and within that narrative, that story, you will see that buildings in great location, that is high quality, that has great amenity and service and are very accessible, having occupancy of close to 95 or to 100. And this is not me. It's a report that I observed either through CBRE or Colliers, that sure, the occupancy rate in developed countries in some situations are dropping, but good buildings in good location with great amenities are doing outstandingly well. And I think Odom shared that correct characteristic. But what I want to add also, Cambodia is a little bit different because we are in a developing stage also. And also further, you'll see 1 Odom or 3 Odom, but in other developed country, in one city, you might see 15 Odom. So there's more competition. Add to that, for a lot of workers, their workplace is probably more comfortable than their place at home. There's Wi-Fi, there's air conditioning, there's no distraction from grandma, from kids. So in actual fact, based on where we are as a country, lots of people like to come to work, and if lots of people like to come to work, we need lots of office space as well, especially office space that are well located, that has amenities, I always say that is generally speaking, but if you have a great building, the occupancy rate will still be very good. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much to all of our speakers. I believe that is all the time that we have for today. Our engagement, of course, does not have to end today. You can still send in your questions either through the contact form on our website, which you can access at urbanlivingsolutions.com/contact, or through our home and sales advisors who communicated this webinar to you. For more information on ULS Cambodia, you may check out our website at urbanlivingsolutions.com or urbanlivingsolutions.com/references for a list of our projects, as well as links to their individual websites. Again, on behalf of Urban Living Solutions Cambodia, thank you for taking the time to listen to our presentation today, and we look forward to speaking more with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.